Scope. Weather in a word.
That's not a word, but that pretty much characterizes it.
Yeah, it's an amazing amount of mess across the country. You can be building a little snowman like you're...
I've got my Frosty the Snowman button on. I am convinced winter is starting early this year.
It's amazing to see just the complexity of the weather this time around. We've got the northeastern mess. We've got the snow. We've got sleet. We've got rain. We've got big rains across the southeast. We've got another mess in the upper Midwest. And rain on the west coast, too, including some amounts we'll show momentarily of some inch amounts parts of California. We'll do it all.
Paul Emick along with Dave Schwartz. We've got some of that mess on tape for you out of St. Louis. This was the airport in St. Louis from the tower. Flights were delayed an average of 2.5 hours this afternoon. That was because of a low ceiling, poor visibility, and snow. The winter weather also slickened the roads around St. Louis, giving highway crews a workout. Here, trucks are putting down a saline solution on the roads. And the temperature here is just below the freezing mark, so there could be some icing on bridges and overpasses. We still have some light snow around St. Louis, west toward Westwood on the west side of town. Lambert Field on the northwest side of town reporting light snow. And out here in Belleville and East St. Louis, also light snow. This is the back edge of one of our storms, the one that moved up through the Tennessee Valley earlier on today. That is whisking its way, the upper level disturbance, into northeast Ohio and western Pennsylvania, dragging some warmer air out with it, actually into West Virginia. Temperatures are in the 40s here at the present time. This has all been rain in West Virginia, and all rain in Pennsylvania too, but in Pennsylvania there's some cold air locked up in some of those valleys in interior sections of PA, so we've got an ice storm going at the present time. There could be some localized power outages. North and west of this, we haven't gotten any of that warm air. It's still cold aloft up at cloud level, so this is all snow in Indiana. 4 inches in Indianapolis, a few snow flurries right now. Heavier snow up toward Elkhart and then over into Muncie here at Fort Wayne, northeastern Indiana. Problems on I-69. And here in Toledo and now Detroit, we're getting some snow. A snow advisory is in effect for Detroit. Temperature is 34 degrees, however, at the airport, so the roads right now are just wet. But eventually there will be some slushy accumulations toward morning rush hour, something that you really need to be concerned about if you're heading out, taking the kids to school or schlepping into work. There is going to be a schlep, and you're going to have to spend some more time out there on the road than you'd like to. Meanwhile, in the southern tier of New York State, and get your bearings here, here's New York City, here's the New Jersey-New York border, and then here's Pennsylvania line right out toward Erie, Pennsylvania, which is right here. This is all snow from Jamestown to Elmira, Watkins Glen, across toward Binghamton and Albany, just about to get into the snow here too. Looks like some sleet and snow for Hartford briefly, then a change over to rain most likely, but it could be very close, that rain-snow line around Hartford. Boston, same story. New York, southeast wind, 39 degrees, all rain, and will be for morning rush hour. Philly, 37 degrees, all rain. Good news for you. Baltimore and D.C., all rain. All the snow is going to be up and over, well to the north and west, deeper into that cold air. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Get ready for this one, folks. This is going to be a tough one traveling or at the surface out here on the roads, or if you're flying through Logan Airport or Buffalo or Detroit, Cleveland, there could be some delays in the morning. Check with us when you get up. Get a good night's sleep. Here's Paul with the rest of the country.
That's right. The rest is a mess, too. Despite the mess in the Northeast, we have enough of the misery to go around. Rain across the Sun Belt and even some early season snow in the upper Midwest. Let's have a look. Fargo, North Dakota, just one of those very places we're talking about tonight. Here we are with kind of a wintry night. Been snowing all day long, and a light snow still keeping on tonight. Road's not the best here, blowing and drifting snow. We'll show you the wind in a minute, but it's amazing, too, to see how much of a mess there is. Cold and wind chills dropping to 10 degrees below zero. Yep, I'd say that qualifies as a little bit on the cold side with the snow coming down and the wind and just the mess in the west. See that area of low pressure? See that cold front, meaning the leading edge of a colder air mass? That means cold air is behind here. Winds, too, around low pressure blow in a counterclockwise fashion. You can look and see the lines kind of close together here. Look at that. Those little lines not too far apart. When those lines are close, it means there's a tight pressure gradient or windy conditions. That's the deal tonight. Winds blow from high to low as the pressure falls off pretty rapidly, getting close to that low. This snow that's falling tonight, Minneapolis, St. Paul, even some snow across the Dakotas can be pretty much swirling about when you have winds like this across the Dakotas, Nebraska, and Wyoming tonight. dealing with a mess. Of course, the real strong wind along the coast here, but still quite windy here. Speaking of here, let's move further to the west, including around Ukiah now, a little wet weather. Eureka, same deal. San Francisco, around Point Reyes there on Golden Gate Rec area, a little sprinkler or two moving in now. Southern California, not as much happening at the present time, but earlier today around L.A., we had some significant rains. Look at this. Kentfield, I mentioned 3/10 bit over there, around an inch for Hearst Castle. Redding, close to an inch, about half inch around L.A., around UCLA, and close to a half inch for San Diego. Florida, pretty heavy rain amounts too. St. Augustine, wet. Sarasota, rather wet as well. Look at this. The rain continues. A lot of the heavier rains now just to the south of the Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater area. Orlando, kind of wet around Church Street tonight. Look around the country. Pick a mess. Look at all this wet weather, all this nastiness. My question is, what comes next? With an answer to that in our Friday, here's Dave.
We've got your answer. Boy, that radar was very impressive, how much activity there was along it. Well, we're